No, this is going to be shorter than I did last time. I did a long version of this. But hi, my name is Francis Okaku, and I go by the name on Brave Exodus, Final Fantasy Brave Exodus, as Cisco GFK YO. I will give you a little background about me before I start this video. I want to say that I have played this game for a while, but I started in 2016, around the summer of 2016. I saw the trailers for it. I thought, okay, that's neat. Didn't put any thought to it. Calmed down to when I finally got a smartphone for the first time. And that same year, I think I got it around September time. I have a really cheap smartphone that I was given to, and I thought, okay, that's fine. I'll just use this. After a while, I tried the game, couldn't get onto it, so then I had to get a newer, upgraded phone to make sure I could play. That's been fine since then up to a point now, but we'll get to that. And yeah, I played. So I started playing the global side of Brave Exodus in November of 2016. Then after a while, I have dabbled in the JP side, which we'll get to it. And I have my acknowledgement on the Chinese version of the game. So there's 3 versions I played them all, I found a way of playing them, and I will say this. There's a lot of flaws in the global side than the JP side. The Chinese one is not that bad in hindsight, but it still needs work. But I'm here to talk about my grievances with Global's Final Fantasy Brave Exodus. In this video, I will be going into topics. I'll be explaining what my gripes with the game. I'm going to be as composed as much as possible. And then I'm going to give you my ideas to fix this game. Now, before anyone else hears this, I'm just going to say this. I am not a genius. All these ideas that are coming from are not from a super genius who's secretly like, oh yeah, I could fix anything, but I'd be too lazy. That's like, literally, I'd look at the game, or look at a product, and thinking, oh, I like this, but I wish this had this. And you might be thinking, why didn't we not see this? It's because, unlike most people, we'll give out names like Scissors, the global exclusive podcast, they have ideas that I'm just going to say out here. Some of them, maybe 1% of them, are good, but not good enough against my idea. Okay? So if you hear some of these ideas that I was spouting out, that's fine, but if you haven't, then that's good. So, let's talk about grievances first, and then what I'm going to do next is explain my points I want to fix, and then finally give my verdict on why I leave it. Okay, so let's talk about my grievances of the game, but in a positive way and in a negative. So, when I played Final Fantasy Brave Exodus, I played it because I saw these really cool characters and I wanted to get into it. I didn't know that you can get crossovers from other Final Fantasy games. I just thought, oh, first mobile game I've seen, they do this. I've heard about the All for the Brave. It was kind of terrible, I've heard. This one looks cooler, and go into it. The story mode in Season 1 up to Season 3 has been very flex in not fixed enough, but it's like fluctuated. Like Season 1's fine, Season 2, it's hard, it's like a hard not thing. It's like I like Season 2, but I think it went on too long. Season 3, I did not care. I started to, but after I was like, oh, skip this bit. I just want to get through the game and do the missions and so forth. So I just felt like very not interested in it, to be honest. So I like the story mode to some degree. I like the opportunity to have really cool characters, units. I do like some of the units, mechanics and stuff, and the looks and styles. So that's my reasons for liking them. I like the concepts that you guys are introducing. Some of them are really good. Needs working here and there, but you know that's the thing. And I liked the original community when it was coming out, but now the community is slightly different. So, all in all, I think the player base is not bad. Story mode is not bad. Some of the features you got are not bad. It's okay. It's okay. Technically, but it's okay. We'll get to why. So the global side is really not bad. Now, JP is like that, but I will hint on this. It's superior to the global one. And I'll explain why, but it will be doing my grievances. So, well, and also the fixes, so we'll get to them. So, let's talk about my grievances. Okay, where to begin? Alright, like I said, so I said before, I liked the story mode, I do, but as it's progressed, it's becoming a little bit monotonous and a bit boring, really. Season 3 forward on the other hand, that's good. That's really good. I can't wait for the new updates. That's been much more interesting and much more new features that I love for season 4. So I'm happy for that. I'll give you another positive. New players do get, I believe, you can get a lightning and a lightning new vision form. So that's kind of cool. So you get two characters to get super limit burst and also get them to be really good. So that's kind of cool. It's really good for entry players. So I will give some props. This is what I mean. They do some stuff that I like. Like when you want to get a unit, you will get a Neo Vision and two Neo Visions. One Awakening and one just there. And it's that's kind of fun. That's really cool. But it is what it is. So now we'll go to the negatives. They don't do enough updates like that. There's a lot of things like power creep is a problem, and that can be mitigated easily. I think the arena mode, it tends to crash. It's only in the arena, but Coliseum not so much, so we'll get to that. Let's see. Trials. Some of the trials, like the global original trials, haven't been given an update. And what I mean by update, I mean they looked at it thinking, no, everyone's got this weapon or they've got this material, or I don't know, Vengeful was I've got identical 50s or all of them, it's fine. And you've been thinking, oh, what else could you do? And that plays nothing much. But my gripes is that the missing content is its main flaw. I do not like the practices for the roulette wheel. I do not like things like they have done for the game. Oh, we're doing this collaboration, but then we're going to skip this character to get a new Vision Awakening. Oh, we're not going to do that one because that's too good. We don't deserve good things. Some of the collaboration in JP doesn't come into global, or it's missing in action, or it doesn't exist. It's oh wait, we have Final Fantasy tactics getting people hyped. Let's not update those characters of the game. Let's not do an event. Heaven's a bid. Final Fantasy 14 is getting really hyped, and how many times you've done an event for that? Not much in the global side, but the JP side is lots of times. Also, we could actually discuss about the missing content. Hey, do you remember that one time that Final Fantasy 4 had an after years event? No, doesn't exist. I don't know. I know, I'm hinting on the things that are missing, but that's a bit annoying. Other things that have griped me as well is that the game doesn't feel balanced enough now because of the way it's structured, and it doesn't feel like if you're a new player, this is the perfect way to play Brave Exvius. So, I'm trying to be as less angry as I did in the last video. Trust me, this is a 2-hour fest, and I'm trying to make it shorter. So let's go into things I will fix. So I'm going to break them down into sections, and you will hear my smartphone going off because I get a lot of messages from people. So So let's talk about one thing I'm going to fix. So let's see. I'm going to be talking about the stories mode. I'm going to talk about story events. Then I'm going to do events. So that will be picking up on things that I think are problematic in the events. I will then talk about units. I'll then go back. I'll go to arenas and Colosseum. I'll then go to Clash of Wills, and then I will then address some things like the accessories or the actual others, like things that like I don't know, friend list and stuff like that. Just those stuff, but miscellaneous kind of things. Let's go with that, miscellaneous products. And then finally, I will talk about missing content. And then after that, I'll talk about why I'm leaving. So let's go with the first one, story mode. Okay, so like I said, story mode, really very easy to do. But here's the problem I have with story mode right now, and it happened on JP, but it's not addressed. So this is why I felt like this was a simple strategic move that JP didn't do that Global could have done. And you had the resources to do it, but they've just been like, this mode is very hard. We'll just do an event and then people will love us. It's like, yeah, but it's a short time event and it doesn't feel like you cared enough to do a buff. And that's my problem. So let's explain what I'm talking about. So in story mode, on the JP side, they have implemented in certain areas. Once you complete an area, or if you want to, you can reset the game, reset the area, and get the rewards again if you want to. And that's a really cool idea actually. It's like, I wouldn't mind trying challenging some of these awards again because I've got the characters and I could probably knock them out in the park. And also, resources for energy pots or anything can be flexible enough. So and it's a way to get a different type of energies, which I'll get to in a sec. So yeah, you can easily just knock them out of the park, get these items, and boom. That's it. That's fine. And do you know what? I applaud that idea. That's really cool. However, because people were complaining about power creep in the global side and saying that, oh man, power creep's going higher, blah blah. Oh, I got his character, but Storm has been not that impressive lately. I just wish it was different. And I'm thinking to myself, I've got the perfect idea to fix this. Just have, for the first time ever, difficulty mode on your story mode. Now, then you might be thinking, what? It's difficulty mode? And in the story mode? What's this? And I'm like, wait, that's a genius idea. And it's like, ha 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 ha. No, it's not. The City of Final Fantasy Opera has the same mechanics. The only thing they do is do a normal mode and a hard mode. Very basic mechanic. What I'm suggesting is 2 modes. That's dumb. We could do better. If you really want to test the player base, you have intervals of level difficulty. So for me personally, I would actually put them as like using the terminology for your event modes. So I said, what was it? Normal, advanced, professional, expert, legendary. Right? That's 5 modes. And each of those 5 modes are difficulties. Now, Season 1 is, I think, the most powerful level on Legendary should be just about 200. It's power level, right? Season 2 could be its maximum hardest boss, and this is only boss, not the espers, just the boss, 250. And then Season 3 is 300. You put them into brackets, you can increase them slightly. It's very cheaply done. You just basically do the same thing, but the difficulty is a little bit higher. You put in another section, and boom, that's it. You can then have intervals of, hey, every few months we'll be upgrading the difficulty for Season 1. And then, once you've done most of Season 1, like at least it's basic, like the first difficulty you want to improve, you go into Season 2, but you're also going to be doing Season ones again for the second layout, and so forth. And do it in different islands. The first, you don't just say, oh, we're going to do it lazily, we just do the first island, just do a few things then, and that's it. No. For the first part of the game, the Grand Zero, islands will be done altogether, so they'll do that, and then rather than having a reset button, you just basically give some stuff to them, and then that's it. That fixes a lot of stuff, because then replay value, people thinking, oh man, I've already done like the story mode for season 1. What can I do season 2? And it's like, yeah, it's basically like a very straightforward thing. Just do this, maybe use summon an Esper, summon these vets and blobs, and that's it. And just keep it as similar to the story mode in season 1, but just make it more like streamlined. You use summon Esper, and you just use the element attack or chain, or something like that. You can just do what you need to do, and that'll be fixing it. The way I'm saying this is the easiest one of the lot. I know it sounds like you're putting so much resources and just to fix this, but at the same time, you're making sure that people are getting content. Now, you might be thinking, but how is this going to affect? How are we going to get people to pay money for this new update? It's like, well, we'll get to that in the story events. This is all going to intertwine with the story events. You'll see. So, you might be thinking, okay, that's not a bad idea. But what is it? It's just going to be a slightly difficult and then that's it? No. Season 1 will have the bare minimum of you got to beat the bosses, blah blah. Season 2, some of the bosses will start implementing break gauges. And you're now thinking, wait, break gauges? But that's technically a Season 2, 3 concept. So why are you implementing that? It's like, it's all part of my plan. Season 3, morale battles. Yes. So the way you treat this is that as you get higher to the legendary difficulty, you'll start seeing bits like, like season 2 will slowly have, like, even on the first difficulty, you might see a boss or two having break gauges, and that will get more and more depending on thing. Now some people think, break gauges, I can know that. It's like, yeah, do whatever you can, but there might be some like rewards if you do break the break gauges successfully and do it correctly, that kind of stuff. And you could just add in the features of if you beat the cat boss with the break gauges within this amount of turns, then you get this. And you could implement it as a special challenge for characters to forget, and that will make people think, hey, in a bit, they actually put thought into this. So we have to do this to get this stuff, these special awards. Oh, okay, that's nice. That's really cool. So you're basically testing the people how to do your bloody mechanics. What are break gauges? This will teach you what a break gauge is. What's morale gauge? This will teach you what the morale gauge is when you're not doing Clash of Wills or you're not doing bosses that have break gauges. This will make it feel like you are listening to your player base and you're thinking, wait, we are getting characters that only have morale set up. Why don't we have the mechanics that will do this? And voila. Now, I've figured this out from day one. This was a very easy fix. And you guys have not done this. And this is the reason why I know you have not done this. Because everyone else here is listening to this recording. I don't know where it's going to go, but everyone listening to it is thinking, holy crap, why would you not think of this? It's like, duh, because you don't think of the obvious. You fix up the basic thing. All I'm doing is basically giving you a new game plus, but a new sparkling new way of doing it. This is how you do it. And you can also say it, right, season 1, to get the new difficulty, you need to be at level 60. Or you get the new difficulty for this area, you need to be at level 70 and so forth. You could do it in such a way that your rank has to be at a certain level to get it. So that forces people to think, right, I've got a boss rush or this bit, that'll be fine. So, let's talk about story events. Okay, this was a very simple and yet the most ingenious move that you guys have ever heard of, but to me it's like, no, it's very easy, you just haven't done it yet. I don't know why you're not for this. Okay, so we have a lot of characters that have near vision awakenings. Some of them had story events. Here's a novel idea. Why don't you just do what I just said and just combine the two together and just say, hey, we'll get Inverted at the Dark, Laswell, and I don't know, maybe one character from season 3, like the protagonist, and just say, hey, these ones are getting near vision awakenings. So Daisy gets a near vision awakening. And Laswell gets one. And you could just do it in phases and just say, right, all these characters are getting this. However, we're going to buff up some characters just to make it feel like, yeah, they're getting the EX buff here for that time period. And then we might do a summoning pool for that season 1 or season 2 character. And that's it. This makes it feel like, okay, if you have got the characters for EX3, that's fine, you don't need to do it. But if you haven't, this is the perfect way of doing it. And also, in their story event, they can get more materials to make them the EX+2. You can get some new weapons or upgrade certain materials to make your character flexible enough to say, hey, that's cool. And that could be that could literally be like a kind of concept that you used to do with your story events where you had this extra hard mode and you have to do particular things to get the extra rewards. And I'm thinking, wait, we could do better. So, story event will have the first ever difficulty as well. You can have a very normal, hard, and very hard if you want to go to that level. And each time you go for the different level of difficulty, in story mode you'll get a slightly harder boss, and this will test you out. Then, as the precautionary thing, because you want to get them a challenge quest style thing and a farming event style treatment, you give them an introductory challenge quest. Similar to the introductory quest, but a little bit more like elaborate. You give them bosses to battle within that story mode event. Take some of the best ones and then just basically say, hey, you got to beat this character, blah blah, or you got to beat this boss in a certain way of here. You got to use these moves. You got to use this. You got to use this element, or you got to defend this way, and that's it. You don't just do one character in a set. You can have like a few bosses here and there to test the characters out. Now, this idea is also implemented from the Lost Chapters. Yeah, Lost Chapters or the event modes for the characters from Dissidia Final Fantasy. Again, I'm borrowing ideas from another game, but I'm improving them. It's like, aha, I see your idea, but I'm improving them. Now, this will address the idea that you are listening to your fan base because some people might like that as well. You're fixing that up. There's an event for Rain when he becomes Awaken Rain, and I believe he has a Vanguard Rain as well. You can have that as part of an unlock event. That once you're in season 2, you can, to a point, you can then go to his story mode event, and you can find out what happened. You'll get hints of it in Souls ones and in the story mode, but this will give you a proper introduction to this, and also helps you out with getting another character near Vision Awakening. Crimson could be near Vision Awakening during this event, and Awaken Laswell, Awaken Rain and Vanguard Rain could be near Vision Awakenings, and both play differently. They're both basically are tanks. One's physical, one's magical. Boom. You already got them sorted out, and this is what you fix up. Now, you might be thinking, wait, why are you saying it's just these characters? They haven't got near Vision Awakenings. It's like, why stop there? Well, a lot of the Vertex has a lot of near visions. Heck, there's even 2 that's not in the game. Because there's only out of 8, there's only 6. We'll get to that if you go to story mode. But this fixes a lot. And I'll address this when I go into the store units. But yeah, I'm keen to know that. And then you do a summoning pool for this. Sometimes could be something like new characters that you want to introduce. Have us keep it permanent rather than just make it temporary. Because let's face it, your player base needs to know what's going on with your character. Some people like the story mode events for some of the characters. Some people like the design of them. So just treat them nice. If you made them permanent, just have the story mode be permanent. So that's what I'll fix. Okay, let's go with trials. Okay, where do I begin? Well, there's a lot of ways I can go into, but let's talk about the one that I think needs the most improvement. The normal trials. Okay, so there was a boss rush trials that you did for global. I think you should just do a scorn variant of that. Have an upgraded version or material to upgrade that weapon, and then you can do a farming quest for that. I don't know. It's up to you, but you can improve that. Serious boss battles. I just make it, I don't know, 300. I know it sounds a bit random, but make it 300 or 400 and just have break gauges oriented. Set for Season 2 boss battle. Made that as easy as possible. It's difficult to no break gauge, just make it slightly tankier than before, but other than that, flexibly easy to beat. Because you gotta make it feel like it's not a challenge with some of them, but the rest are challenges. Or ignore it, I don't mind, but just improve on most of them to make them more manageable. What else? Oh, right. Vengeful. Oh gosh, this was a simple one. You have global original units now for boss battles. Bring them into it. If you got any Clash of Rules characters that you introduce, put them into the Vengeful. Just do that. Simple. Oh, and also I want to go back to the story mode event. You have Starlight Elena and Yoshikiro, and even Louise. Just put the story mode event there, so you can help them play base to get their character to be at least EX plus 2 or EX plus 1, depending on you want to go. With the non-awakened units, I think you should make them at least EX plus 1. But for the awakenings, EX plus 2 at least. And that mechanics, that works. So, back to trials. So, the Vengeful only got 5 because it's based on seasons. 4, my bad, 4. Winter, Easter, Halloween, and Elena. That's it. And there's been a lot of global characters that have done. There's lots of Easter's events with bosses that they won't see again. We had some ones for the global original units. One that was a pain in the ass for the Halloween units, and that's she has not been brought back again. So why didn't you just bring them into it? And you might think, oh wait, the mechanics of it is going to be easier. Like no. When you bring them back in, you have a new difficulty. Okay, some of them should be toned down a little bit, like the Christmas one. That should be toned down drastically to be less problematic. But on its harder difficulty, you implement morale gauge. This helps the community. See what I did there? Morale gauge. You're helping the community understand how the mechanics works, and also this makes it interesting for you, for the player base, to be like, okay, now we know how the morale system works. These characters. And it makes it flexible enough to say, yeah, this is our event, blah blah. Oh, you can bring this unit to this event, so and you then just make a pool for that character, so if you want to do it again, and so forth. This gets people so hype with the fact that they're doing an event like this. You can even make new units for this. And this is what I mean. This is how you can make it feel like, okay, they're taking this one unit, giving it a design, and probably give it a story mode event. But the Vengefuls coming out, and this will line up with this person. Boom. Done. Adding more events, adding more rewards. I know, some of them are hard, but you don't have to. Like, for example, the festive one, you can leave most of them as they are. If you got another festive character, just say, right, here's the upgrades for these stuff. Or for the Easter one, here's the upgrade variant of the clothes that you order, materials that you needed to have, and now they're like, I don't know, 8 stars, and then some of them could be 9 stars and 10 stars. This makes it feel like, okay, there's a reason why you do this event, because if you get your characters up to the point, you maxed out how many times you played it with different characters, different units, you can probably get a 10-star item that will help out with your. If you get the 3 sets together, you can actually make your character really kind of powerful, almost too powerful. And that's what you should be. It should be a farming event that people are going to do. Right, I've got all this done. I've got all this rewards. This is my payoff. And I've got enough summoning tickets to do what I can. I've got enough lapis to buy what I want. And I put in the work and I'm happy. This will get people more interested on what unit they can do, what ways of getting that numbers, because once you have 100 units, you can find a way to make at least a decent amount. You've released so many units that it's becoming a joke. So yeah, this fixes that. You're welcome. Scorn should have some easier boss rush modes or boss characters from global. Heck, you can even just put some global characters in there. Oh, and also I figured out how to fix Chamber Arms. You just bring Chamber Arm back with a new name. It was like Chamber Arm Plus. Just treat all the bosses like before, all the wars as before, but you can actually start implementing morale gauge system. So you can have, instead of having it up to, I don't know, 2 battles with the character, you can have it into 6 or 10. And the more you battle this version of the character, or 5, the difficulties are a bit different. And you can take their replicas that you got and upgrade them to their true form, or even stronger form material, and that's it. And you just do it in phases. There's 12 of them, so you just take time with them. Also, 2 of them have an event mode, these characters, so you can just give them a Near Vision Awakening. Boom. I know one hasn't got one yet, but just get them that, and even make one for some of the characters that may be featured in a short story event. Wink, wink. So yeah, this helps the game out. What I'm doing is just literally look at the problem and just thinking, you haven't done this, why just do this? Okay. So, let's quickly go and talk about units. Now, I've said this a lot, but this is going to also, I'm going to implement something else, which is the summoning pool. Okay, so, units. I think you should, for the first time ever, look at your global characters and see if any need Near Vision Awakenings. Whether it's a 3-star or 5 stars or a new unit. If they have a story event, put them in. If they haven't got that, just give them a challenge quest. A challenge quest, which is basically like a thing to upgrade the weapon. And don't make it time limited, just make it permanent. Any global fan units has a quest that you have to upgrade the weapons or materials to make them good. Put them permanent, make them some sort of event that you can get them done like that. It's fine. This makes it more viable for people to get into it and be enticed by the characters. Like, oh, I like MLPs, but I still did an event for this online thing, and we can't get that now to upgrade that weapon to make it really good. Nope, you can fix that. Boom, here's the event, done. This is how you fix up a game. So, that's not what I'm here for. So, you have a lot of JP characters that JP hasn't fixed up yet, or figured up to tweak for, and I don't know, I just think you could just, find some Neo Vision characters that do need some buffs. Like Summer Breeze, Darkfina. She should get a Neo Vision Awakening. Laswell and Nicole's summon units should be having Neo Vision Awakenings. Summertime or Summer Fina by herself, the 4-star, and Luca, the 4-star, I think, both have materials that could be upgraded further. I think there should be Neo Vision's Awakening by now. Doesn't matter what you want to do, just just give them a recommendation on it. I think there's so many options you could do with them, but just give them something to do, rather than just be fodders or like, oh, here's a material I could just use and stuff. Now I could sell that character to use it for something good, rather than be like, fine, I got the 4-star Athena summertime. She's got a good mechanic in Neo Vision form, so I can't wait for that. And a Supercharged Master is really good, and that will make people be like, yeah, I'm invested. Because right now, there's no investment. Oh, also, I just want to address something. Yeah, the weapons that you can get on your main characters, Lena, Laswell, and Rain. Can't these just be upgraded to plus and so forth, so people could be like, oh, okay, we can do the harder version of this with the same characters, and it's restrict us, but we can do stuff with it as well. But that's what I feel like I'm telling you. I feel like I'm doing so much work and I'm not, or giving like brilliant ideas here and left, right, center. It's like not really. So back to units. So I'm here to address that. Anytime you have an event, I think you could have gone full harms on them. So let's talk about a few things I want to address on. So the limited time only units, some of them have got some really good mechanics now, but your updates have been a bit terrible because Nicole has a 7-star form. He's Illusion Nicole has a 7-star form in JP, but global, no Espanol. Okay, whatever. Santa Rosalia has a 7-star form in that game, but no Espanol. She's still 3-star. It's like you hate people with money. People be like, oh, we can now 7-star characters now, or New Vision them. Why did she just do that? But no, it's too expensive. We can only do this character that's never got features for the Neo Visions, like party. We'll pick that. Carton, he's the 7-star character. We need a winter unit. I know, we'll get Carton. Definitely a character we're gonna use. And I was like, oh boy, you could just. I know what you could have done. I know what you could have done. Simple. Just give a Halloween variant of Reagan. Make him have a Halloween variant. And Dark Athena. They have fanboys and fans for that characters. Maybe you should just do that. And then just give Carton a Neo Vision Awakening. Just make him transhift. There's so many opportunities. Here's a funny thing. You have Ravia's dad as a limited time only. Give Ravia a limited time only variant of herself. Have a combined power of ice and light. And and just have a combination style of both forms. You can switch in and out from different styles and make a true brave chef and just be like a very powerful magic physical damage dealer that could do both forms and have elements of Starlight Ray and Absolute Mirror Equity. I'm literally just fixing to pull this out on the fly now. This is how good it is. I haven't gone into depth in it, but that's what I would do. Oh, and also the first form should be ice and the second form should be light. So then it makes sense that, oh, these are the limited time only units. You've got to get these characters. They're kind of buff and they're kind of cool. Yeah, so that's what I would do. There's tons of things you could do, but I'll just say that you need to use your opportunity to say, right, if we go into Brave Exodus now and look at Dark Athena, for example, White Light Lily Dark Athena, she could have a New Vision Awakening that could be a little bit better than a Dark Athena form. So rather than Transhift, she could be True Brave Shift, and just give her an event where it makes her whip really powerful, and give her mechanics like quintuple toss, and give her tons of buff to make her really good. Like, instead of giving her 500 magic, just give her 1,000 magic. make it really kind of like she's really good at EX3. And if you complete an event, you get an image vision card that, once upgraded to its full potential, will be the best magic card for ffbe characters and so forth. You've got to make it feel like, yes, you have put so much effort. And then JP was looking at it like, hey, well, like what you did with that that event thing you did for Dark Athena, the CG limit first one. Why don't we just do that? We'll just take that idea and then that's it. So people say, oh, there's synergy in it. Now ideas came from this year Final Fantasy. They did the same thing. Anytime the global original character gets into it, i.e. a new character from the Final Fantasy universe, gets added. A few months down the line, or maybe half a year even, that character gets added into an event, or a story event, or whatever. Boom. So people thinking, right. So when they do get buff later on, maybe you can take their buff and thinking, okay, we're going to actually improve this. So then Global will get that buff later on, when they get their events, and so forth. I'm not trying to say that I'm a genius, but come on. These are simple fixes. Okay. So, I could go into more depth, but I'll probably do that in another video. But let's just go with another things. Arena Godzim. Okay, so JP's now updated their arena. And also they updated their Coliseums. Here's a thought. Just update them now. Just update some of the features from Coliseum first. Like, now. And then do the same thing with JP, once everyone likes the new features they've done for Arena on JP, just do them right now, like maybe a few months later, after on this update for the Coliseum, that kind of stuff. Also, you can actually slowly implement some global original bosses for that event, i.e. old bosses that you use for global events, put them into there, whether they're limited time only or not, put them in the game, make it more viable. Boom. Okay, that was quick. Let's go with the next topic. I said Clash of Wills. Okay, so people have been trying to figure out how to fix Clash of Wills, and I will say this: Clash of Wills concept isn't a bad idea. It's basically a combination stuff, and I think that's actually fine. I am not here to take the piss out of it. It's like, oh, I hate this, or this, or I hate. No. I'm here as a consultant. As a consultant, I know what to do. Just put them in tier lists. Easy tier, normal tier, hard tier. And you can only pick that per season. So, season 1 you can only be on easy tier, probably. Or each time the event, like Clash of War happens, you can pick what difficulty you pick for that particular version of the seasons, like season 1, which should be closing up into, like season 2 now win, but season 1 could have been like, oh, I picked the first easy tier, oh, I've got that one, that's very easy, I might try to base new one. Okay, I see my problems, I haven't got this amount of units, I'll wait until I've got enough units or mechanics to handle the newer type of difficulty and so forth. And also you give them time limits that you don't have to go into it now, you can do it later, blah blah. You just need the right units. If you haven't got it, just go for pick what you want, farm for it, boom. This fixes up everything. And also, this actually makes it easier to understand what it is. So, the ward system should be this. The power level should be this. Easy should be kind of like the equivalent of doing a very basic thing. So nothing too high, maybe like level 80-ish equivalent, but very, very like lenient. It's not going to be problematic. Normal is where you see elements of problematicness, but it's going to be at least the power level, like, so let's say this, difficulty could be up to 70, but it's really as 99, but just it will feel like the expert one, maybe like the hard ones could be thought like if you compare it to the hard level as we're in now. Beginner should be like 70. 80 is for the media, into like the normal difficulty, and then your harder difficulty can be about 99, so about the same, but your difficulty spikes will be kind of toned down on the beginner one, so it's almost non-existent. Normal one does have it at maybe like 10% before you complete that bit. That's where you see the spike difficulty, but not as bad as the difficulty in the hard one, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. That's done. Right. Going back to something I forgot to mention in trials is weapons trials. Okay, you add in the new variant, so weapon equipment normal, and you have a plus variant. Now, you might be thinking, wait, plus variant? Well, that sounds a bit weird. What's so good about the plus variant? It's like, this is for those who have done enough in the normal weapons trials event, but I thought, I need a challenge. I need something to make my characters feel like it's not a farming event. This just feels like a challenge farming event. And that's where you have the plus. You can get better upgrade weapons, but you can only do that weapon type once. Like weapon type, like the weapon material ones. I.e., if you look at Advent Children's Cloud Supercross Mastery, you could put that into the farming in the actual weapon equipment plus, and it will just get all the brilliant buffs you can get, but you can use that once. You can't put in like 2 or 3 of the same weapons of that. Not like the great swords and that's it. No, I mean like you can't put that same trust mastery again, or super trust mastery again if it's a weapon. So even though it's a great sword, you can put another great sword in, it's fine, but just that version can't be used again. And you might be thinking, oh, that's a bit limited, but it's like, yeah, but the reason for it is that in some cases, sometimes we might say, hey, you should, we're doing a Final Fantasy VII event, or we're going to do a global original character event, and they use hammers. All hammer types, you will get a special buff, but that's it. Wink, wink, say no more. Or any axe types, yeah, you get this axe. You could get like more damage if it hits. It hits an impel or something like that. And that way, people are thinking, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. So they're doing some new mechanics that make it easier for impels, or they're doing something that can grant you an impel, or giving you better mechanics for that. So it just fixes everything. But anyway, okay. I think we've done most of it. Alright, I think I'm going to be doing miscellaneous, and I'll go back into it. So let's talk about the roulette wheel quickly. It needs a change. It needs to be much more easier to understand. I think it should not be a rule. And I think the reward should be based on like every time you play it, you get an item. Like instead of hitting a wall and you're hoping for like not five Lapras, you're hoping for maybe 10 or 150. No, it should just be like you get integrals. So it'd be sections, and the maximum you can do within a month is I don't know, there's 7 a day. You times that by 7. That's not bad. You can easily get something within a week or two. You times that by 4. That should be the ratio, and you just do it within that time period. You get maybe 100 to 50 per, like every 50 section you get is 250, so forth. So people still get stuff, but instead of just giving like 5 Lapras, you could give like, I don't know, better Lapras stuff. Rather than 5, it should be 10 minimal. And you can get about maybe some tickets here and there if you get to a certain threshold. Maybe like if you do 100, you get or 75, you get a ticket, or maybe a non-EX ticket, just a normal ticket for maybe 3 stars or 5 stars or 4 stars, whatever you want. But just make it flexible, make it easier. Okay. Right. So that fixes that problem. Moving on. The Chocobo farming event. Lower down the cost to be 100 gil. I don't know why it's like 2000. Also, adding better woods into it and some better materials you can get for it, and also the cost of the items you use to get the stuff. I think you should have a new mechanic that you could buy in the shop in another place and just use that as the way to speed up your mission event and your quality of life. I.e., instead of just saying, "Oh, we're going to use your items or potions to get through this to get more high percentages," you could just get a new mechanic that an item, new weapons like I don't know, like Chocobo exchange ticket, and you can buy that in shops in the shop areas. There's many ways to do this, and they're very cheap to get. Thousands and so forth. Or you can win them, you make them winnable. I don't know. It's up to you how you want to do it. The point is, make it flexible and easy and less expensive for the new game players. You might think, well, why you say 100? It's like, why should it be like 2,000 points for this thing when you have to be, in order to make yourself feel good about it, you need to have it either the right amount of lapis to right amount of gil to do that, and that could be a problem. I'm fine now in my one because I've saved a lot, so doing the 2,000 or 4,000 doesn't feel that bad to me, but I think it should be cheaper. New Vision Awakening cost should be half by now. It shouldn't be like so much. It should be cheap. Oh, and when you 7-star in them, should be cheap now, half the price. I think it should be like 500,000 for a 7 to turn the effect as 7-star. So that way people can think that, oh, it's actually cheaper to make them new visions. And now because the cost is really cheap, rather just get a plain like unit that is new vision. Right. I did say I'm missing miscellaneous, and I was going to go into more depth in that. Yeah. Oh, and also have some weapons to be upgraded during Season 1's story events that you can actually upgrade. There's a lot of things I could go into, but I'm just going to make it short and sweet. Oh crap, I've talked too long. Okay. Right, let's go talk with missing contents. Right. Missing contents. Battle towers. I don't know why you have not told this, but I think battle towers should be similar to Clash of Worlds. But rather than doing the JP version, which is you pick a unit, you take them to the to the event, and you farm the crap out of them. But each time you do it, you can't use that unit again, and you have to use a different one, and so forth. I think that's a cute idea, but it's not farmable enough or credible enough to make it feel like blank slate version of your characters goes into the mode. That's dumb. I think it should be similar to Clash of Worlds again, morale-based elements on the hardest difficulty, but other than that, it should be you can use morale in attacks on these characters. You gain some buffs, but the more time you use these characters or different characters during the event, the more awards you can get for it. It's similar to like Vengeful. You have to use different units to complete it. Like you don't just lock up all of them. Just like you won't gain that much bonus if you use that unit again. But if you use different units, you gain more better bonuses, that kind of stuff. So it helps people saying, alright, I need this unit to go through this. I can't use this one. I need one to carry this team, and then that mechanics. And that will make people think what they can do with it. Where can I go? Yeah. Missed opportunities. Zargabev hasn't got a new vision awakening. Don't know why he hasn't, even though he's your own boy. He hasn't got new vision. That's a missed opportunity. But the missing content is after years event doesn't exist apparently, which is missing a lot of characters. Final Fantasy 9 had an event for Garnet and another character who had their own trial to do, and you could have done that during the Final Fantasy 9 event, but whatever. Final Fantasy 3 had an event which had Cloud of Darkness as a 7-star, 5 to 7-star unit, and that doesn't exist. I can go into there's a story mode recap that's not been implemented in the game, that's missing. Which I think could be better, because then people who completed season 1 or 2 could relive season 1 and 2 but get so many stuff for it for free, and it's really good for new players or old players, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so overall I could go into depth in some of them, and I will do another maybe follow-up video after I left and explain what I meant by this, but yeah, that's it. So there's a few things, but I want to just wrap this up. So let's go into my rant on why I'm leaving. Okay, so I'm leaving Brave Exvius on the 31st of December. After the 1st of January, I am gone. I'm not touching it. I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to play this year Final Fantasy Popular or Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. I'm just going to play something else. I don't really care. I might play an actual Final Fantasy game and just buy that. Heck, I might even just go into Final Fantasy 14. Screw this game. I'm not going to play World of Visions because I'm not interested. But yeah, I'm quitting because I just do not like the way this game is working. I might play the JP side actually of Brave Exvius, but that's it. I really do not care about the global side. I just think it's terribly managed. There's no roadmap. There's no like interactions or stuff. It doesn't feel like you feel really happy about playing this game now. There's no excitement for them, and anytime they do, it's like comes with like a waning side of, oh, okay, this character's coming in, yay. Now I just don't feel any hype. The hype factor is a bit dead to me, and it just feels like, what's the point? I just don't get any excitement really. I just do not like this game. I just hate it. I love Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, but now I'm becoming to be hating this game. It's because you guys do not know how to manage the game. You guys look at your content and you think short terms, and you don't think of the long term strategies of we know in advance what the JP's doing. Let's try and mitigate or try and make some hype and build up to our character that we think could be improved, because we only care about the Final Fantasy nostalgia characters, but not for the Brave Exvius original sometimes. So, fix them up, make them really good, make them flexible, make them nice. But right now, it's a state that I will not recommend. I could not recommend it if someone paid me £1,000. I will not recommend this if someone gave me £1,000,000. I will not recommend this if someone gave me £1,000,000,000. That's how bad your game is. If I cannot recommend your game for so much money, even if you gave me £1,000,000,000 or yen or whatever, I will not recommend it. On my gut reason, I'd say, well, just play Final Fantasy 7. That's way better than this. Crisis Core is way better. You should go and hunt that down. That's the best game ever. Final Fantasy 10, you should get that. Maybe Final Fantasy Remake if you really want to get into in depth, but yeah. No point. So, all in all, yeah, I'm quitting. I can't wait. I'm be happy to get this stressful, terrible game out of my head. And yeah, if I don't see you, good morning, good evening, good night, adios. I'm done.